Okay, we are live. Happy Friday. I'm here with Maria Lambo,
Hi.
one of my oldest friends. We've known each other since seventh grade.
Mhm.
Um, and she's actually now my roommate, which is super cool. She's like literally in the other room. So, thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to be talking about self-care, biohacks. Maria has so much incredible knowledge and tools in her tool belt, and I wanted to bring her on here to show you what next level self-care looks like. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure we're live. Maria, go ahead and do like a little intro on yourself.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks for having me. It's so exciting.
Of course.
So I've always been active, always loved the body, always loved moving, all kinds of things. Never did any serious sports, but have done a lot of them. And then became a nurse. I've been a nurse for about 6 years. Um, and just seeing both sides, like healthy people, the sick people, all over the board. And it's really drawn me into kind of preventative care and truly taking care of ourselves before we need to go to the hospital or to go to the doctor. And it really starts, when we're young and healthy in order to maintain that longevity. Um, so I also work as personal trainer, kind of pulled back some of my nursing hours, so I'm not quite full time, to kind of help in that aspect of, let's keep you healthy so you don't need to go to the hospital or the doctor. So that's where I'm at. Absolutely love it. I love helping people, whether they're sick, whether they're healthy, all of it.
So good. I know. Honestly, like ever since we were like I've known you since what as we were 12.
Yeah.
Like you have always been the one that like stood up for the little guy. Like I seriously like remember like I think I remember a time I think it was high school like ninth grade or something.
I
And
totally know what story you're thinking of.
like there was like this poor little boy who just like always got teased and was always made fun of, and like you were the one to like tell people to like knock it off and leave him alone. And like you just have this pure golden heart, and you like have this like protective loving, um like everybody matters kind of like belief. And I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
um but yeah, so like because I know that you take one-on-one clients, I know you do the group
Mhm.
coaching, like CrossFit stuff. If you were going to take on like a new client, like what are a few like three or whatever, like what are a few of the like if like first things you would teach them or introduce to them, that are just like essential like self-care, like building blocks as you're like getting someone to start taking care of themselves?
I think for most people, especially because most of us sit at a desk, movement. Like you just got to move. If you really think about it, like a lot of people, they wake up, they go sit in their car to drive to work, they sit at their desk, then they sit in the car to go home, and then they go home and maybe sit on the couch and watch TV or eat dinner, and then they go to bed. And it's just, it's the same movement, the same position for the whole time, your whole day. So it's movement, and for I think a lot of people, it's just kind of the first steps. And sometimes it's just kind of stretching things out, seeing how the body moves, before even adding like weight or something like that. And then I think another aspect is kind of routine and just daily lifestyles. Right, do you go to sleep at the same time? Do you wake up at the same time? That kind of thing. Kind of that circadian rhythm is really important. I don't think it always gets as much light as it should.
Yeah.
I know for me in the last few years, I've really dialed in, when I go to bed and when I wake up. And, the weekends, that's not always what we want to do, but it makes such a difference, like such a difference. I have to wake up really early most mornings. And if I just stick to that, even on the weekends, I feel great. But if I let a weekend get away from me and I'm up late or sleeping, it just throws everything off, and you just kind of you get that fog, that kind of
Yeah.
groggy feeling, and we don't always know why. And sometimes it's just that sleep routine. So kind of movement, sleep, and then water, hydration. Um, I you almost can't be too hydrated, right? As long as your electrolytes stay balanced. But we should be drinking throughout the day. Our bodies are 50 to 60% water. I mean, that's
Yeah.
half of us, you know? It's like we
Yeah.
should be, that is life, you know? Water is
Yeah.
life. That's what my friend Alex always says. Water is life.
I love that.
It's so
So
true.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. So like what I'm hearing is like routine and habits,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
creating a daily practice and a daily ritual around the things like, and like you're saying, like keep it simple. Like you can start
Mm-hmm.
at this like basic level of self-care of just like you said, water, sleep, move your body.
Yeah.
Like just that is such a powerful place to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
love it.
what are some of the things, because like you're a fucking beast. Like just give us a little flex really quick. Like check out. Look at me. Look at those.
Yeah.
Look at those muscles. Yeah, you're a fucking beast. So like for people who are maybe more at a more active normally level and like looking at you and we're like, holy shit, like you do CrossFit competitions, you are super strong, like you have like you're next level, like, and most people may never even want to be at the level that you're at. But like what are some of the things that have taken you from like average to excellent? Like what are some of the like the really cool biohacks that you've learned that have like really increased your performance?
Um, I guess the biggest one is just being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So
Mm,
you have to push your body. You have to, not necessarily your body, your mind mostly, um, and kind of test the waters and see, you know, just challenge yourself. And that could be in a workout, but it could also be, you know, in all aspects of your life. So for me, I'm constantly moving, right? Like I'm a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. I coach people, I train myself, you know, multiple hours a day, you know, all the time. And so for me, like finding stillness is huge. Like, and a lot of it is more of like a mental clarity. But when your mind is clear, it's like you're unstoppable, right? And I mean, that is the hardest part, is getting past the mental barriers, right? So no
yeah.
one wants to do one more push-up, like no one wants to do one more squat, but it's kind of like, but I can, you know, like tell your mind to get out of the way, you know, that kind of thing.
No, totally. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I would say what, probably almost 100% of the time, your body is more capable your body is more capable than what your mind is telling you.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's like your mind is saying like, but I'm so tired. Like I can't do
Mm-hmm.
one more. I can't. I'm so tired. But
Mm-hmm.
if all you did was switch that story that you're telling yourself into like, fuck yes, I have one more rep.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
do it, and then you're like, wait, just a second ago I said I couldn't do it, and then I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a game that I like to play with myself in some of my hard workouts, right? You get to that point where you're just toast, right? Your heart rate's jacked, your muscles hurt, like everything, and you're like, okay, I'm in that red zone, right? I'm nearly at that 100%. And I tell myself, I'll be like, okay, let's see how long I can stay here. Like, let's just see it, you know, like whatever. And I know a lot of people aren't there, and that's totally fine. Like, that's definitely not something you should be doing every day, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that I do for myself when I know it's time to push. So it's like, let's just see how long we can hang out here.
I love that. I love that sense of like curiosity and play that you bring into it, right? It's not like you suck, you have to think, like that's
Yeah.
not loving, like that's not compassionate,
Right.
that's not sustainable. But when you bring that sense of curiosity, I wonder how long I can do this. I wonder how many reps I can do. I wonder, like, yeah, how can I play with this? How can I expand this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's powerful. And then when you're done, you just feel so much better. You're like, okay, like I got better today, or I truly tested myself today, you know, and that's what carries you on to the next day, right? And that's what builds in your system, in your book or whatever, for
No,
what you know you can do now.
exactly. Like, and that is what's so powerful about pushing ourselves in a loving way,
Mm-hmm.
is that once you overcome that thing you thought you couldn't, you then have this whole new sense of confidence and knowing and belief in yourself that you're like, well, if I could do that and I didn't think I could do that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to try this other bigger thing. And that can apply to your business or a promotion you want to go for, or whatever, just trying something
Yeah.
new. It's like when you prove to yourself that you've overcome something you thought you couldn't, like that is when everything starts opening up.
Yeah, it's very empowering. Very
Yeah.
empowering. It's
Yeah.
yeah. And that's why so many people get addicted to exercise. It's an endorphin rush, but it's also like your own motivation, right? That you're creating yourself. So it's pretty
Yeah.
powerful stuff.
Cause I know like for you, like in high school, like you weren't buff, like, like,
No,
you
no.
know, like you're not like you were not back then, like how you are now. And it's like, take me a little bit on that journey of transformation when you went from like, just like running and just like sports,
Hmm.
to like training and pushing yourself. And like when you started becoming empowered, like take me through that transformation a little bit for you.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's to look back, like I can tell like these little pieces in my life have added to how I am now. So high school I played golf, which everyone knows golf is not a very physically demanding sport, right? But it's a very mental game. It's the golf swing's very technical. It's a lot of strategy in that aspect. So I played golf, which I kind of didn't, I kind of only played in high school, and that was that. But I got really into running in college, and I just did it on my own. And it started off as just kind of like my stress reliever from school. And then I started doing a couple races, and then it got into like, oh, okay, let's keep track of my times and how far I'm going, and started tracking that stuff. And I think part of the nurse in me is, I love numbers. So for me, that was like, I geek out on that, like tracking numbers, tracking workouts, all that kind of stuff. Um, and then I had a friend who said, there's this strength class that I want you to try. And I'd kind of dwindled off of my running. I had foot injuries that didn't allow me to run as much anymore. I was like, cool, I wanna try this. So I went to this strength class. It was so much fun. My numbers were nothing to to be excited about. And I went up to the coach, who is still my coach to this day, and I was like, I don't like being the weakest one in here. Like, how do I fix this?
Ooh,
And
competition.
so yeah, I know, right? Like there's a competitiveness in me that it's just been there. It's probably from my sister. But and so we did some one-on-ones, and it, yeah, if you know my sister, you know. But
Yes.
he was like, have you ever tried competing? Because I think he just saw my drive to like, I'm the kind of person where it's like I want to get it down. I want to practice it. Feel I want to feel like I know what I'm doing, right? And he's like, have you ever tried competing? And I was like, I no, kinda, I don't know. And he was like, you should try it. And so CrossFit has a lot of local competitions. So I trained, and I think I did my first competition like 6 months into CrossFit, just like a skinny little thing. and,
That
and
is,
I just loved it. I'm
wow.
pretty sure I got dead last, but I absolutely loved it. And that competitive atmosphere kind of just that adrenaline rush. It's like nothing else, and you really got to push the limits. And it's that adrenaline, just it's so different than like a normal training, because you can do so much more that you don't even realize. And
Oh
it's
my
some of it's
God.
just that get your mind out of the way, right? It's like it's
I
competition time,
can't
you just got to go.
I can't believe you were only 6 months into training and you took on your first competition. I did not realize that. That
Yeah.
is fucking inspirational.
Oh
Like,
gosh.
oh my God, that is so amazing. And talk about like signing yourself up for something big and scary in order to motivate you. And now look how far you've come.
Yeah, right.
Like that
Super.
is
It's all
amazing.
about being uncomfortable, like 100%. And
Yes. And I love that I just want to say, hey guys, thanks for hopping on. Let us know if you have any questions for Maria. She's a nurse and a personal trainer and a CrossFit athlete. And let us know if you have any questions on self-care or performance. Raymond says, this is so inspirational because transformation is scary. It's so nice to hear the authenticity. Being vulnerable is infectious.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's
thank
awesome. And Julie just hopped on.
Yes. Oh, Julie, you just missed it. Just gave you a little shout out.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, that's, man, Maria, that's so freaking cool. I didn't realize you had only been 6 months into your training when you did your first competition.
You know, there's something to being kind of naive to a sport too, or it's like you don't know what to expect, right? So you might as well just give it a shot.
Totally.
There's something to that. Trying to hold on to that is kind of crucial, I guess, and probably most things, right? Like you never want to feel like you never want to know you know everything or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think that beginner's mind is so important in everything that we do. And like allowing yourself to show up imperfectly and to put in your best effort and allow yourself to be a beginner, like allow yourself to learn and have fun with the process. Like so many people won't even try because they're like, well, if I can't be the best at it, I'm not even going to try. Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're never going to go anywhere with that. So, but yeah, I mean, it all kind of comes back to being uncomfortable. And I think that's kind of what hangs people up. So something that my team and I do is we're constantly making ourselves uncomfortable. So we do like ice baths and cold showers. And so much of it I'm realizing is it's creating balance. So like our systems, like us as humans, you know, are always creating balance, the homeostasis of the body, right? And so much of what scares us or what we don't want to do is the stuff that we need. So
and isn't that so true? That is so true in like everything.
Yeah, right. You can take it down to like what you're doing in the gym. Like for me, the rowing machine, I just don't like it, right? But I know that means I need to sit on the rower for a little bit longer, right? But you could take that out to like your system, right? So we're always comfortable. We live in a society, we live in a world where we're always comfortable. If we're cold, we put a jacket on. If we're hot, we put on a tank top, you know, like we are always comfortable. And sometimes you have to push that a little bit. You have to challenge your body and it makes your body stronger, right? There's so many benefits to cold therapy, ice baths, cold showers. It strengthens your immune system. You sleep better. It's a stress reliever. Like it balances out your fight or flight, parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. You know, but it's uncomfortable, right? No one likes a cold shower, but dude, the benefits are so worth just a couple minutes.
So, okay, I was just going to ask you, for someone who's like me, I've never done a cold shower or an ice bath. For someone that wanted to try that, what would you say would be like the first step? Like how long, how cold, like where can you actually get some benefit?
Yeah, I mean, anything's good. A lot of people will do to start out just like the last 30 to 60 seconds of their shower. They'll make it really cold, right? So you just, you know, you're done. Like you've washed your hair, you're clean, you're done. Just go real cold, hang out for like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and then you're done. The other thing that's kind of nice is like hot cold. So you can start cold and then turn it back up to warmer, get comfortable, go cold again. So that hot cold therapy works really well too. And then you could kind of like, I mean, it's just like a workout. You could write a progression, right? So for a week, do 1 minute of cold, and then next week go 90 seconds of cold, you know, and just kind of build up. So I try to do like 4 to 5 minutes of a cold shower. And that's when I kind of feel like I get the most benefits is when I get up to that 4 or 5 minute range.
Wow. So impressive.
Or lake jumps. Lake jumps are great too.
Yeah, just jump at the lake.
Yeah.
Oh,
we've done that. Awesome. My team has done that like in the fall and winter when it's like
cold. My God.
But it feels so liberating. Like you feel so good. It's the best. You gotta try it. It's scary. It's so scary. Standing on that dock, it's scary, but you're right next to the ladder. You got it. You can do it.
You're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be in there for 10 seconds.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. And then, okay, tell me about like you do, I know you have all these amazing different like breathing techniques. Like what's one of your favorite ones for like energy and
I
stuff?
really like Wim Hof is great. I know he's getting a lot more popularity. He does really aggressive inhalations, and then at the end you hold it, and you hold it for a long period of time. Anywhere from a minute to 2.5, 3 minutes, as you get more experience. But it helps alkalize your body. It also helps boost your immune system. It kind of prepares you for cold water. So sometimes if I'm really not feeling like doing the cold shower, I'll do my 15 minutes of Wim Hof and then jump in the cold shower, because it kind of sets up that like the fight or flight, sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system. So you're a little bit more prepared for that stress response.
You're just a
And then I
machine. I
guess
just,
just basic like square breathing, like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. I do that a lot
hmm.
of times just before I'm going to bed. Like I'll just lay in bed and do that for a little bit. Next thing I know, I'm asleep.
Yeah, that's a super powerful and simple technique for like getting your heart rate down, like getting into that like tuned into your body, that mindfulness, like super simple and super powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Just so relaxing.
Dude, that's so amazing. Do you guys have any questions for Maria? She's a fucking wealth of information. So let us know if you guys have any questions. Um, how many hours a week do you train? I was just curious, and I've never asked you. Like you're training
It varies.
for a
So
competition right now.
yeah, well, it's generally I'd say like 2 to 2.5 hours most days. Um, and then starting next week, my partner and I will do sessions a day, 2 to 3 times a week. So those will probably be about 90 minutes each session. Um, and then my rest days are trying active recovery days. So go swimming, walk, like a long walk, maybe a little jog, um, just something to get the blood flowing. And honestly, the active recovery days are so much better than like a true day, which doesn't almost seem like it would make sense, but there's something about getting your blood flowing a little bit and getting those joints moving that really helps to recover you for just laying all day. You just get stiff and that blood gets stagnant, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So those are my favorite, are the kind of active recovery days.
I love that. And for um, like for people who are like I think it's so important to address like for you for example like you're a nurse like you're on the front line in this like crazy ass time we're in right now and like your whole day your whole week like you are caring for others um like like it is so important for people like you people who are coaches healers leaders like for those of us that take care of others for our job like talk to me about how you see like this like self-care and like how you truly care for yourself in like mind body spirit like because you do so much
Yeah.
all the time like how do you balance that.
It takes a lot of discipline. It's hard. And unfortunately, healthcare workers can be the most unhealthy people, and I see it firsthand. But that mind, body, spirit is like so true. And when the virus first hit, I kind of was like, the gyms closed down, and I was to full time nursing. And I made a point to wake up every morning before my shift. Um, the only time I'm looking at my phone is to turn my alarm off, and then I don't look at my phone my whole morning while I'm getting ready. Drink some water. I would do like a 15-minute yoga flow. Just find your breath, connect with your breath, and then I'd go into like a 15-minute meditation, uh, and then just drink some more water while I'm getting ready. I was in a house where I was the first one up, so it was like it was dark. I had the house to myself. It was quiet, uh, and it was just it made such a difference. And you just like walk into work, your mind is awake. You feel ready. You feel prepared. You've gotten your body moving a little bit. And then on top of that, as hard as it is, and it's really hard for a lot of people that give their energy, is being able to leave work at work. And that's something that I kind of learned quickly on in nursing. My first couple of years, it's so, you'll wake up in the middle of the night like, oh my gosh, should I remember to chart on that patient? Like it'll just, I make a point when I get in my car after work, like I take a nice cleansing breath and I'm like, I'm done. Like, and that's that. So work stays at work, and that makes it makes you a, better at work, because that when you're there 100%, right? And then when you're not, you have that energy for the things that you need to do, take care of yourself, be with family and your friends, and that kind of thing.
I love that. I love how intentional you are about being fully present in what you're doing when you're doing it.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And unfortunately, with the cell phones, it's hard to do that. We're kind of in that of instant gratification. We always want what we want right away. And that can cause a lot of distractions and kind of pull us away from where we want our attention to be, right? Where it should be, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I see that as being like, when you're really clear on your priorities and what's important to you in this moment, this week, this month, this year, like when you know what's important to you and like actually consciously choosing to direct your energy to those things and not just slipping into this weird default mode where you just get distracted by whatever. And then you're like, oh, I just spent an hour on Facebook. Cool. And I could have been working out, or I could have been with my family. Like, I think that's so important, like that intentionality.
Definitely. Yeah. And then when you realize you have more time to do the things that you want or need to do too, and when you don't have those distractions. My coach has given me some of the best tips, and I will go on like a month hiatus of any social media, and I'll just delete Facebook and Instagram off my phone, and I just don't need it. And it's crazy how much more productive my day is, and you don't spend on or distracted, I guess.
Yeah. I know. Now tell me, you're taking one-on-one clients right now, right?
Sorry, you cut out there. Say it again.
Yeah, you're cutting out too. I'm wondering if it's your Bluetooth headphones. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little choppy.
I think it might be your Bluetooth headphones.
Oh.
Just go normal. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Turn your Bluetooth off on your phone. Yeah, just talk louder. All right. Well, you know what? Can you hear me? Come into the living room. Okay. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Come on, Maria. Just get on in here. Okay. Okay, cool. So, can you guys hear us out there? Hopefully it's good. So I was just going to ask you about are you taking one-on-one clients right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously gyms are limited right now, but they are open. So it's a lot of just coordinating. Gyms can have 5 people in there at a time.
Okay.
Per coach, basically. So the gym I'm at is kind of set up where you can have classes going and then some one-on-ones with coaches, and there's plenty of space. So it's
in Bellevue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in Washington, so sorry people that are not here, but if you're in the east side, like Bellevue, Kirkland, Seattle, whatever, or if you're willing to drive, you're based in Bellevue.
Yep.
And then, so what would that look like for someone? Like, what would you recommend? Like, how many days a week, or?
3 times is ideal to really kind of see benefits. 2 is great also, though, even if you're just starting, adjusting schedules, that kind of thing. I'd say in that range. And if you can do 4 days a week, that's killer.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just takes working up to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Facebook, Maria Lambo, Instagram as well. You can also reach out to Savannah, and she can give you my phone number. My Instagram is lifting with Lambo 1.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on today. And let us know if you have any other questions after the live for Maria. And have an amazing weekend. And thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you.
This is so fun.
So fun.
All right. I love you guys, and happy Friday. And we'll see you next time.